Good evening. Welcome back to the Gooner Booth. Sorry, 1 second. My sound's playing up. That sounds better, doesn't it? Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's better, yeah. That's better, matey.
That's my bad. Apologies, guys. Yeah, welcome back to the Gooner Booth. We're here to preview the Sunderland Arsenal game. A big one. Could be a spicy affair. Wayne, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Tony. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm glad it's Friday. That's for sure. Joe, what? I must admit, I do like Friday evenings. Then when you get up on a Saturday morning, there's just like football everywhere. Like it makes our Saturday, and we're playing Saturday evening, so it gives you the opportunity to put a little bet on, watch Soccer Saturday, realize that you're not going to win that bet when it comes to the 60th minute.
Yeah, that's it, mate. And your dreams of the weekend have just died.
Yeah, and then you've got the Arsenal game to look forward to. Yeah, so are going to be hopefully be a really nice Saturday evening tomorrow when we jump on the reaction video. But it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, matey. I mean, I've been wrestling with myself all week. As I say, I've got a nice. I've actually had 2 nice Fridays actually, Tone, because I don't have to work. So obviously, I don't have to work tomorrow. So it's going to be a day of, I wouldn't say relaxation with 3 kids, but all throughout the week, I've just been thinking about this game as well, especially after the Slavia Prague game. And it's a mixed bag on here because there's a few people on X and they're going, oh, this is a championship side who are in 4th.
I've heard that.
Myself, we should batter them. And I'm thinking to myself, look, I'm torn because I think, yes, we can, but I think a team led by Granit Xhaka is a team that I fear because I just think the way he done it with Bayer Leverkusen, he's come back to the Premier League and they've started brilliantly. And he's a leader, and when you've got someone who's got the bags of Premier League experience, he's the German league as well, but he's had well over 100 odd caps for Switzerland.
Yeah.
We know as Arsenal fans what he's like. So my fear is him. A team led by Xhaka. That's my fear.
Well, it's a Xhaka's derby, isn't it? Really, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right? He played a lot of games for us. It's been ups and downs. A question too, though, right? Because in the summer we was talking about it quite a lot. If you'd have had the choice in the summer, would you have re-signed Xhaka or would you sign Norgard?
It's a tough one. But to be fair, I don't think it's tough. Why I say tough is because a player with Norgard having someone as backup, I thought he played quite well against Slavia. I think obviously he's just growing a little bit more. Some of the touches around the corner was looking a bit tidy. I would have still taken Norgard, but I would have also had Xhaka. If I had to choose, I'd obviously go back to Xhaka. I like the depth that Norgard gives to us. He's invaluable because he seems to be a player that's happy to be here, whether that be on the bench. Like a Gilles Grimandi in the Wenger days.
Oh, bloody hell, Gilles Grimandi.
You remember? And he was never a starter, but if he needed to fill in the centre back, if he needed to fill in defensive midfield, or he had to come on, shore the game up, or add an extra midfielder, Wenger would put him on. He reminds me of that kind of player. But yeah, it's a no-brainer for me, Tone. I would have Xhaka, and I'd love to have seen him with Subamendi or Rice. I think that'd be his thing,
The only position Jules Grimandi didn't play in was fucking goalkeeper.
I know he played, but this is what I'm saying is you need them kind of players in your squad, and I think with Norgard, he's like, for me, he's just a direct replacement for Jorginho. Comes in, does the job, goes home.
Yeah.
He's not going to pull trees up. He's just going to be a solid player. In terms of depth, Tone, yeah, but if you gave me the choice, obviously, I think I would have taken Xhaka back definitely for a season or 2, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, the thing is as well, the difference between comparing these two, dude, is would Xhaka come back and be back up to Subamendi and Rice? He might want to play. Would it? He's gone to Sunderland. He's leading these. They made him captain straight away, which you can't blame him for. Yeah, good shout, but yeah, I'm always going to go for Xhaka. I think I always wanted to see what he'd be like playing, especially alongside Rice. I think a midfielder of Xhaka and Rice
You know what?
would be
Interesting.
would have been a solid thing. But listen, we got to play against him, mate. Reality is we're playing against him, and he's I wouldn't say sleepless nights. It's just a thought process, Bones, of I just think we can win against this team, but I just think he's with him being on the opposite team, it's going to be weird, as well as he's a natural leader for them. So be a tough game, mate.
Here's an interesting stat for you.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Newly promoted Sunderland are unbeaten at home, sitting fourth. Beaten Chelsea, West Ham, Brentford, obviously, and they haven't lost a game at home. Obviously, unbeaten at home, so they haven't lost a game at home, right? And they've beaten some big teams. They've obviously beaten, Chelsea away. That was a shocker to a lot of people, and they set up really well. They're going to be another team. It's going to be really compact. They like a long throw in, but we're going after another record now. We've matched the record for unbeaten. Sorry, not conceding the goal in 9 games. Right, the record's 10. So if we do that tomorrow, we've set a new record of clean sheets in a row in the Premier League. So I think that's going to be in the back of our players' minds, right? I think they're going to all defend for their lives, which isn't a bad thing because they've not just got the incentive of 3 points, got the incentive of that new record. So I think we're going to be very solid at the back, and I think Big Gabs he's been unbelievable this season, and I think that new record's created another passion for him. Immensely, but that back four are going to be up. Our back four are going to be well up for this, and they're going to be literally. You watch them go mental at players like Trossard, Eze, even Saka. If they do stupid things and give the ball away, silly foul, silly corners. You watch.
You see it on Tuesday, Tone. Yeah, there were simple things like or not tracking back.
Yeah, when Ben White almost got that penalty away, I think you could see in all the Arsenal players' faces going, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" I wouldn't be surprised if I was thinking, "Oh, this guy don't even play. He's come on the pitch and fucking cost us our record." But no, it's going to be a tough game. All that stuff aside, it's a nice thing, but that shouldn't be the whole purpose of keeping a clean sheet. Going back to what you said at the beginning of the call, they're a newly promoted side, but they've had the best start since Hull City in 2009.
Exactly.
They're no mugs. They've obviously set themselves up at home to not get beaten easily. And Xhaka will know very well what we're about, right? And he was one of the masters in our team of the dark arts and little fouls here and there. What it will look to do is break play up very quickly.
Break the momentum up.
Exactly what we're going to do. So it's not going to be an easy game.
They also have Sunderland also have a man-to-man press, matey. So they'll be intense in the press. So that's where it's up to us and the boys and Arteta to play through that. Listen, we're not like you're saying, we're not bigging them up in terms of it's much harder to play the top teams, but I think we have to be respectful of the start that Sunderland have made. We also have to be respectful of the fact if this was at the Emirates, I'll be telling you 3-0. Arsenal.
I was just going to say that. The fact it's away changes
it's away. They're going to have momentum. They're excited and happy to be back in the Premier League again. So I mean, I'm not looking forward to it. I think we're more than capable. We'll come to that lineup, but with the lineup I've picked, I think it's more than capable. And to also add to it, Tone, and pass it straight back to you, I just wanted to tell you as well what we've been waffling about. Did you see that Gabby Jesus is back in training?
Yeah, I was just going to get into that. I was going to discuss the injuries. Yeah, he's back in full training. So I reckon after the international break, it could be quite exciting for us. We could
look at it this way, right? So Miles Lewis-Skelly and White have not been picked, so that's fair enough. They can stay back at home 2 weeks rest, train with the lads. If all goes well, and we've now seen that Jesus is back on the pitch, back training. I don't know if he's going to make the game tomorrow. I'm happy for a surprise on the bench, but I would say at the moment, for how long he's been out, depending on, because, Arteta's always really secretive about a lot of stuff. He doesn't let a lot of stuff go in terms of player fitness, but I wouldn't want to rush him back. But look at it this way, Bones. Jesus, Havertz. Sorry, mate. Get to
No, go
that
on.
point straight off. Jesus, Havertz, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Ødegaard, Madueke to come back after the international break.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this earlier. I would take one of them in the squad tomorrow. I know they're probably not ready, but if one of them is ready, I would take. Do you know what? I'd be over the moon if
I agree,
Madueke
Tom.
was on the bench tomorrow. It'd give me a
Yeah.
little bit of that sense of calmness because I'm a little bit anxious about tomorrow because we'll go through the starting 11 you've sent, like you've sort of brought up, Wayne, and I do agree with what you put in there because I think that's all we've got.
It is all we've got, Bones.
We've got cover in defence, which is
Ridiculous.
good.
It's good, but we want it in attack.
Our attack, we've literally the backup that we've bought has just been wiped out.
Yeah.
In the first 10 games of the season, it's absolutely crazy.
How's your Donald? Sorry, mate. You know that we've lost Jesus. How's your Donald? How's your Donald Duck? Sorry, talking in there.
Oh yeah,
Cockney rhyming slang. How's your luck that you get in Gyökeres and your striker that has been your main striker in Havertz gets injured literally the first game of the season? How's your luck?
Yeah.
It's frustrating, mate. You know. So, but I'm looking forward to it, Tone. I think they'll ease them back as well. But we've got a busy schedule over the sort of like the next 2 months, next 2-3 months, you say, after the international break through December and January. It's vitally important that rotation is there, you know. But like I say, you look at that defence now; it's polar opposite. You might have thought defensively we might have been a bit short with Benny White out, but with Benny White in, he can put a whole news back four on the bench.
Yeah,
can't he? So
I'm just worried about what we've got in attack tomorrow. You know,
it's only Max Dalman time, isn't it?
Could you imagine if Saka goes down with a knock tomorrow?
It's vitally. Again, you know, I think everyone knows. Obviously, I mean, this is the team. I mean, again, we've got Wanyeri. Sorry, so let's not forget. Obviously, we'll have Wanyeri sort of like as well, but that's all you're down to unless you got a surprise on the bench tomorrow. And you know, as I say, in all due respect, I think Wanyeri at the moment, you could see, I think he's struggling to kind of get a grip in games. You know, he's an 18-year-old kiddie. He's got the world at his feet and time on his hands. But you can see he's kind of struggling. But I think I'd go with a team I've picked, and I think that's the team you got to. And it's vitally important. The three behind, who I'm going to choose, like Moreno, as you know, I think they're vitally important to how if we're going to win the game or draw, or let's hope not defeat.
What? Very quickly on Wanyeri.
Mate, you go on.
You brought him up. Someone said to me the other day. And I found it really interesting. They went to me, would you take 60 million for Wanyeri in the summer if someone come in for him at this moment in time with the squad that we've got? Would you take 60 million for Wanyeri?
I would say a bit more than that. I think what you got to look at, Tone, with 60 million is this kid, if he hits the potential that you can see, he could be double that, even triple. He could be a phenomenal player. What I would say is I'd say no, but I would accept a loan. Someone said about a loan in January. I think at the moment, in terms of squad, let's see what you've got, because you need every player. With Jesus back, you look at it this way as well. Say Ødegaard's back, Havertz is back, and what I've been going on about since the start of the season, and since we obviously knew that we were signing Gyökeres, that I believe as well you could also have like Havertz playing behind Gyökeres in the 10. You got Ødegaard, you got Eze who covers left and centre, you got Trossard, you got Martinelli, you got Jesus, you got Saka, you got Madueke. Is there a place in that squad for Wanyeri when all are fit?
Yeah.
And I think for the kiddie, I rate him highly. I wouldn't sell him, but in terms of fitness, it could be one of them you may go, look, okay, or not fitness, but sort of like for his own confidence. Say come January, or you come to the end of January, you get through that busy period, and you've still got all of them fit. You might have a niggle with one, but you go, look, we've still got so much depth. I would say about a loan. It would be an absolute mistake to sell that kiddie, Tone, at all. And 60 million for me anyway ain't enough, because I think in future potential, we'll go through the roof. It's just obviously you imagine right now, I've said it on our chat, which you can back me up, and our friend in the chat will. That I said he's got to try and take the game by the scruff of the neck, if you like. Like grab hold of that ball and do something. Because once Ødegaard comes back, Havertz becomes fully fit, and you've got Eza. Is there a place to start for the kiddie? So I would say to look in January. If it's looking highly likely that he's not going to play a lot of football, Tone, I would accept a loan for him in terms of his development. Definitely not. I mean, you can't sell him, Tone. Not for 60 mil. I couldn't accept it.
But when I asked who would we sell him to, he said Chelsea have been interested, and they're still interested. Now, I think that'd be a mistake to sell him to Chelsea. But I do think that if an offer come in of that magnitude, I do think they'll be a little bit tempted based on what they've spent. So, but yeah, that was sorry, I went a bit of a tangent there. But yeah,
but it's a good question, Tony.
Someone brought it up, and it was just like it's very
stuff like that, mate.
So
it's always a good win.
On that segue, let's go on to the starting 11.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see that properly. I'll zoom that in a little bit. There we go. So I think that, as I said, I think most people who are predicting the 11 for tomorrow would probably go with this. I don't think we've got much choice.
No.
The only thing you probably could try, but I don't think he would, is Waneri number 10 and Eze on the left. If he doesn't feel Trossard up to it, or even Trossard could.
Trossard up top.
He could put Trossard in that floating 9 role if it isn't working Merino. But what I think he will go for, and let's not deny it, a lot of our goals have come from it this season, but set pieces tomorrow are going to be vitally important for us, because they do hold a very tight back four and tight midfield. I think that most of our chances are probably going to come from set pieces or dead ball situations, just because of how aggressive Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, even Calafiori and Merino are going to be so aggressive at attacking the ball that I feel like we probably will nick a goal in the sense of either a header in the net or a ball dropping in the box and Eze smashing it in like did with Palace. Yeah. So I think that's going to be probably one of our only ways of scoring against Sunderland, because I think in open play, Joe, it might work in our favour that they will press high, because if we break their press, then Saka's going to have so much time on that wing, and so will Trossard. One thing that I will say is I'm not 100% uncomfortable with Merino playing up front, because his finishing's been unreal for Spain as well, let alone Arsenal. Yeah. So, as I said, we'd rather Gyökeres or even Havertz up top for this game if the option was there. But I do think he can do a job there. My only worry is he drops into midfield a lot during the game. So
I'm glad you brought that up, Sam. I've got a point for you. Carry on going, mate.
Hold that thought. I'll finish this and I'll hand over to you, mate.
Well said, mate. I like you. I like what you said there.
It will drop into that. It will drop into that role in the midfield, like the Ødegaard type role, right? He'll be in there with Eze, and I'll get why he does that, to get into the game, right?
Yeah.
But there's going to be situations, and there was against Prague when he was up front, where we had the ball out wide and there was no one in the box. There was no one making that forward run. And also, we've actually realised, I'm not glad that Gyökeres is injured, because no one should be glad any of our players are injured. But it goes to show how good he is. Not just because he hasn't banged in the goals like everyone was hoping for, but his movement is next to none, and his work rate is unreal. Right, the intensity of his work rate and his running, right, and then runs that he makes, them short burst runs. Havertz probably won't give us that, and Merino definitely won't give us that. He's a ball playing midfielder. He's a good finisher, right, and he's only in, let's face it, he's only in that position because of last season. We needed someone in that spot. He played there. He scored against Leicester. History's there, right? He can play in that role, and I think a lot of supporters are like, Joe, ain't got a fucking choice. Play him there, and if he gets given a chance, he'll bury it. I've no doubt about that. But my worry is during segments of play, how deep is he going to drop to come and get the ball? Sorry, mate. Over to you.
No, no, don't apologise at all, Tone. I just wanted to say to you, well done for bringing that up. It's a very vital point because that is something that happened against Slavia Prague, and in the second half, we scored straight from it. And what it was apparently someone, as you say, if you analyse the game a bit as well, that I think Arteta's told Moreno, stop dropping deep and go to just be in and around that box. Boom, goal.
Yeah.
I think what it is obviously he's a Swiss Army knife. We've said here that in terms of being like a support striker or a backup striker or doing whatever, Moreno is that for me. He's that finisher, but the guy doesn't moan. He could be playing up top and playing in a role that's not his role. He's doing a fantastic job. Does that? He scores goals for his country, scoring goals for us. Pulled us out of it at Slavia Prague. Fingers crossed he does it again because it will be bloody fantastic tomorrow if he does.
Yeah.
But the guy, we have to give this guy his due and his respect because, as a player, he's again one of them, like I said, a Jules Ramondi or a Norgard. Norgard has come in for Supermendi because he was suspended. He knows he's going to be back out the team again. What would that do for a
Yeah.
player? But he's ready to come on later in the game to shore it up. Moreno is he started sort of like deeper line midfielder. He's a central midfielder effectively, and the geezer's playing up front because we haven't got any fit strikers until after the international break. Give himself a due. And I think why I kind of interjected was because you made a fantastic point in that was the weakness, that is the problem, and at times as well, I think Havertz has got a little bit more, but Marino's trying to get into the game, and I think Arteta told him just stay.
Mm.
And you've made a fantastic point with Gyökeres. If it doesn't tell these guys that are saying Gyökeres should have scored 10 goals by now, he's only scored 5, then have a look at what he does and what we're missing currently. But it's fair play to Moreno that he put them 2 goals away.
Yeah.
The third goal, the keeper was a bit shocking, but you have to be there as a centre forward, if you like, to be there to if he makes a mistake and you're there, he puts the ball in. Not he nicked him before the keeper. It's
Yeah.
vitally important players to have players like this, keep them happy, value them, because he's a Swiss Army knife for us. He's playing up front when he shouldn't be, really, if you like.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
agree. No. The one thing I do want to talk about as well is I think I hold my hands up because I've criticized the guy since the start of the season, Zubimendi. Right. What I want to say about Zubimendi,
Yeah. Yeah.
is I didn't realize it until the game on Tuesday, and it was mentioned a few times by the commentators. And actually, no, I agree with that. When he's not in the team, we use that sense of flow in our play, right? The pockets of space he creates and how he gets the game flowing, right? He even brings out a little bit in Rice in terms of he opens up the play for Rice to play a bit better. Now, I think at the start of the season, I hold my hands up, but I don't regret what I said because I do think that he did struggle a little bit in some of the games. But I think now he's found his feet in the Premier League. I think he understands because as a midfielder, when you're playing in Spain, you get all the time in the world for that tiki-taka football, right? Whereas I think now he's worked out, right? And Fabregas done this as well, by the way.
Yeah.
When they work out how much time they do have, right? They work quicker on the ball, and then when they get used to it, right, how much time I've probably got 3 seconds less than I would in Spain. He's making better decisions because now he understands the game. He understands how he's gotten used to the pace of the Premier League because he knows that I'm not going to have that sort of time, right?
Yeah.
So I've noticed now that he's actually speeding us up with our play, and I'm hoping it's the same tomorrow. I think Xhaka, as good as Xhaka is, Xhaka ain't got the legs, I don't think, to keep up with Rice and Zubimendi. I think he's going to struggle. And what I'm hoping for, Xhaka had really good fitness when he was with us. I'm hoping that we just run the guy ragged because he's going to be chasing them 2 around the pitch, right? Which isn't easy. But I think that Zubimendi, I think the last couple of games, and I think it really he left a hole when he weren't playing on Tuesday because his fluidity in midfield is complementing Rice really well. So but the Burnley game was a really good example. How good were we in midfield? How good was Rice? Right. They've become a really good pairing. So I'll take that comment at the beginning, that criticism at the beginning of the season, and I'll swallow it because I do think he's now sort of found his feet and he's a good midfielder. And I think he's definitely there's I'll be interested. I've not heard any more comparisons between him and Partey, right? Because I think that people have realised that he's his own individual midfielder in his own right. Partey was fantastic for us, by the way. But I think Zubmini is a different type of midfielder. Yes, he's a holding midfielder, but I think his ball retention and his ball playing ability is probably better than Partey's, and I think that's a difference. I think Partey would give you that aggression in midfield, right? With Rice, that's where Rice could steam on and Partey would happily sit. But I think Zubmini's offering a bit like a Makalele type of role where he's just so fluid with the ball, and we'll notice that, I think, tomorrow when he's back. You notice the flow of our midfield will be a lot better from defence to midfield, straight onto the wingers. It'll be a lot quicker. And I think Zubmini's a big part of that, speeding that process.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. I mean, I'm glad. Another one I want to do as well, and obviously, you know my faults of Subamendi, and I've having studied a few his game prior to him sort of like starting his career with us, and I know there's been a few games where the physicality of the Premier League kind of got to him. But he's a clever footballer, mate. One person I want to add to that list as well, Tone. For praise for myself is Trossard.
I agree with that.
I think
he's
because
been great. Yeah.
Look,
he starts off really
said,
bad though. Do you not find he starts games really shit?
He grows into it. He'll start. He frustrates the life out of you, and all of a sudden he's still there. The thing is with Trossard, what you have to look at is as much as we do want winners, as much as you want that flashy kind of left winger, and it's the same with Martinelli. And sometimes, Tone, when you've got some of the injuries we got, the best ability is availability, and that boy is always available. You know, whether we've said it on this channel as well. You kind of want let's have like a Rafa Leao, I've mentioned Semenyo, there was a mention of Rodrigo all throughout the summer. Eze should play on the left, which I think Eze will more likely be playing that role when Odegaard's back.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, because in terms of Trossard, we're going through a mini injury crisis in our attacking line, and he's fit, he's available, he's there, does what he needs to do. Look, the manager trusts him, Tone, whether we like him, whether fans, he divides the fan base. But for 27 million, you have to look at it as well. It's been a bargain. So you want to swallow your Subamendi, I want to swallow my Trossard stuff and say, fair play to the boy. I like Trossard. I said Trossard does remind me of like a Freddie Ljungberg. And it's just certain moments throughout last season where he just wasn't sort of like the form wasn't there. He's been on it today and this year, and I think as well he's still in the manager's mind, because if Martinelli comes back, Martinelli was in good form. You're not going to stay in this team. It isn't. Saka might. He might be the first name, but I'm sorry, if Madueke's in good form, he'll be under consideration to start as well. And Saka needs to be on his toes. Every player in that forward line needs to be on their toes now, Tony, and it can only breed confidence and success, mate. You need them.
On that Saka comment, Wayne, the England manager Tuchel has already said that there's a very high chance that Madueke goes on the right over Saka, right? And do you know what? And I think for the first time in Saka's career in the last 5 years, he's actually getting challenged for his spot now, both club and international level, by the same guy, right?
Yeah.
And that, if that doesn't breed a bit of hunger from him, because I think Saka's not been great this season. I think we can both agree on that.
Yeah,
he's not been at it,
lacked something in his own, that extra bounce in his step sort of thing.
So I think if Madueke comes back, I think Arteta's got a decision to make, because if Madueke comes in and has a blinder, then he's got to consider him. So I think Saka's pretty aware of that, and don't rule out Madueke playing on the left, by the way, when he comes back, and Saka on the right.
100%. I wouldn't rule that out either, Tone. 100%.
So But yeah, look, this game we just need to get through this game, and for the first time this season, I'm actually want the international break because I don't think we could go into Bayern Munich, Tottenham, Aston Villa away, Brentford at home, even with the squad currently as it is, be the injuries that we've got. Let's go into the international break. Let's get our players back. Let's hopefully injury free of the current players we've got that are fit and ready to go. Do you know how exciting it's going to be going into that run of fixtures? And then we've got Havertz back, Jesus is on the bench. You've got Jokeres back. You've got Madueke
Martinelli,
coming back.
Madueke.
Martinelli. What an absolute bench that will be, and the options will be unreal. So
Exactly, it'll be unreal. And let's keep our fingers crossed as well that obviously the likes of Eze and Saka on England duty will be fine, and Declan as well.
yeah,
Vitally important. I mean, Declan Rice has been phenomenal this year, like with Gabriel,
yeah,
and long may that continue for him. And as I said in a previous stream, I think I like Tuchel in the way that he does take him off. While Southgate will keep Declan Rice on for 90 minutes in both games, whether it's friendly or not.
yeah,
So fingers crossed for that. I mean, and as I say, you're spot on. You hit the nail on the head. We actually are begging for it because it's other than the worry of the players that are going out on international break, we get come the end of this international break, and it might Tottenham could come too soon. Tottenham might be right on point for these players, but we're going to have a hell of a lot of players back, 5 to 6 attacking players, literally. When we're full strength, when everyone's fit and available, Tone, that's a scary proposition. Not for us, for the opposition. So,
yeah, yeah,
it's something as a fan, you just like, look, I'm not a religious man. You went this as a youngster. I'm not a religious man, but I'll be praying to the heavens. I'll be praying to Annan pops up there to send us some good luck.
yeah, yeah,
Um, because it's just for crying out loud, give us let us have these players all fit and firing. It's enough's enough now, mate. I mean, stop these
yeah,
injuries. It's
yeah.
so
It's
frustrating.
yeah. Honestly, I can't. Even if we do add Martinelli back, would have been something,
Yeah, I
right?
feel sorry for him, Tony. It's so annoying because
Yeah,
again, he's reaching that level.
he was
He
doing really well to
he
the
was
point where we
reaching
was
that level
asked.
again, and he would have been playing and playing. He would have started, and again,
He was
but
playing that
Trossard's
well.
come in. Yeah,
He was playing that well that when Trossard would have been the starting 11, everyone was going, "Oh, why's Mane not starting?"
we
So,
were saying that exactly. I
fair
mean,
play.
listen, as I say to you, as I just said a couple of minutes back, is that I think Arteta he likes Trossard.
Yeah,
And I can see it because when he's on his game, he is still one of the better finishers at the club.
yeah,
And you can see there's times when his pace doesn't. He got behind the defence, I think, in Slav, and you think you're not taking him on. But again, Tone, if you're going to be a successful football club, you need your Gil Grimondis. You need your Ray Parlers, you need your Sylvan Wiltors, you
yeah,
need your Canus. Bergkamp and on restarted all the time, but you need these players that are going to come in. And
yeah,
it's like it's and the fact now that we've got genuine start. And I am. Please forgive me, you might join me in this, but I'm quite relatively excited to see Gabby Jesus back, just because I
yeah. No,
think he's not
I think we should
prolific,
utilize him.
but I think he's a tricky player, and he's another player to bring off the bench, and the opposition goes, "Oh, for sake."
Yeah,
And
no, I
I'm happy
agree.
with that tone, so I'm excited for him. And look, he seems to be he's a good enough bloke. If it means that as I said to you, he needs to stay at this football club, and I want to see him lift the trophy with us at least before he
Yeah,
goes anywhere. He said he doesn't want to go anywhere because his contract runs till 2027. I ain't
yeah.
got a problem with that, but it depends obviously in terms of if you're going to bring in, a left winger or whatever. But listen, I'm happy to see him, matey. That's a bit excited, but someone new. But for him, he seems a good person, so it'd be nice to see him lift something with us, mate.
No, no, I
He
agree.
deserves that.
I agree. I mean, I'll be shocked if he's in the starting, not starting them. If he's on the bench tomorrow, I'll be shocked. But
I'll tell you what,
no,
I'll be worried, but also, like you said, it could be a bounce. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like to those, you imagine Max Dowman and he's got Gabby Jesus is back next to him.
yeah,
Ethan Wanier is on the bench with Jesus. I mean, listen, it's going to be
yeah,
crazy. These boys as well. I think Harriman, Anus, and Dowman may again be on the bench come Saturday night. Tone. Look,
yeah.
all I'd say, advice to them kids, not that they're going to listen to anything anyway, but they should enjoy it, because the strength of our players coming back will mean that these young kiddies more likely
Do you know
won't get a
what?
chance.
That Anus, I wouldn't argue with him putting him on for the last 15 minutes, right?
He's got,
Because
yeah. Oh,
he does
if we
what
have, he's
he
got
does what
to, yeah,
Gyökeres does. He does actually close down and work hard. So you
yeah,
know what?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, 100%, Tone, 100%.
yeah. Right, let's start wrapping up. It's 35
Yeah,
minutes on stream. Predictions, Wayne.
yeah. It's a difficult one. I still think it's going to be tight, but I'm going to keep my Arsenal head on. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm going to say that it's going to be a tough game. We'll ride the storm, and I think a 2-0 again.
2-0. Yep. I'm gonna go over 1-0. I
Yeah,
think
no, I'm feeling your tone. I'm just
I
being a
think
bit overly
yeah,
excited.
I think
Maybe it's because
that
Jesus is back. I don't know.
Arteta's mindset's going to be, let's nick a set piece, lock it up, and get the fuck
Yeah.
out of there. That's what I generally
Tone,
think.
you know,
And you know
listen,
what? If you
mate,
do it, then I'll take it.
what you said was absolutely fantastic. What did you ask him to do against Athletic Bilbao?
Think the place out,
Just do it.
but like,
Still we
yeah,
want.
I think he is going to go there just to look. We've got hardly any attackers. Let's just think the place out. Let's defend really well. Don't let them in.
Yeah.
Let them in. So I just think, yeah, I think 1-0. I think it's going to be tight. Sunderland no
It's a
mugs,
tough
right?
game.
I think Ra's going to be busy. On the, I think they're going to come out of the traps very quickly, and I think
Yeah.
Jack is going to make sure they do, because yeah, my worry is with us at the moment, we do start slow. We haven't got out of our system yet.
Yeah.
We
That's the one thing. Yeah, dude.
we need to. I feel like we're going to have there's going to be spells in the game that Sunderland are going to have as the home team. But I think early goal, if we get an early goal, oh god, that Burnley away, right? That could have been a tough game in the sense of the crowd would have got behind them. It's away from home. It's a rough and tumble game that, it's going to be the same with Sunderland. I think that if we get an early goal, shut that crowd up. They're going to, like, fuck's sake.
Force a corner, get a goal from a corner or set
Someone
piece.
said to me, a Liverpool supporter said to me, right? He said to me, I hate watch Arsenal, right? And he said, when you guys score, I turn it off. I go, why'd you turn it off? It goes, because I know you're going to lock shop up, you're going to defend really well, and it's very, very rare that you concede when you're 1-0 up. Because what that does, so I think an early goal would, if we score an early goal in the first half, I'd go 3-0, because Sunderland would have to come out, and that the manager they've got will push. It will push to get that goal. That's in his nature, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I think we'll pick them off, nick a second. The perfect position for us would be to go 2-0 up, 75th minute, bring Dalman on, bring on a couple of defenders, just see the game out. Bring MLS on. Well, I think could probably go left wing, if I'm being honest, as a backup.
Again, he done that the other day, didn't he? And I think
he done okay.
more likely want to do that. Yeah.
Even Ben White as a right wing back, just change the formation up and get. But we need to be in that position to lock it down, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm looking at going like, where's the goal going to come from? And I have to say, like when we get, I literally think when we get a set piece, I'm actually generally excited now. And I don't care about the critics, because and again, I go back to Liverpool's what I spoke to the other day. I had a really good chat with him. He said, "Look, it's jealousy. That's the only reason why they get in the ump, because it's every team wishes that they had that avenue. That if they can't break a team down, then you've got a set piece. Do you know what I mean, under your sleeve?"
Yeah, look, only slot again. Apparently, in his thing today, Tone. There's a morning article by Jamie Carragher saying, "Oh, it all points to the fact that the Premier League is dropping in quality," and Arnie Slot's moaning about teams having tactics against him when he had it all nice and cushy last year because he was using Klopp's blueprint. Listen, in all due respect, we've all got Liverpool mates and we've all got mates of different teams. What was being said, oh, look at Liverpool, Liverpool. No, Arsenal were top of the league. We're throwing long throws in. We used to get bullied by long throws. And then everyone's saying to us, oh, look at you, long throws. Mate, we were bullied. Why can't we
They're
return
all
that?
doing
Like
it.
the dark arts against us. Oh, grow up, grow a pair, Arsenal. Blah blah blah. You get bullied all the time. Blah blah blah. We're doing it to teams now, and and everyone's going, oh, we're boring. We're ruining football and blah blah blah. It
Yeah.
is. That's all it is. That your Liverpool supporting fan it hit it straight on the head. Your mate. It's jealousy, and it's as I said to you, whatever your opinions may be, is that Arteta is trying to get every aspect of the game down to a T, so that when these teams now do this silly low blocks like I did last year, he's got an answer for it. And long may it continue,
Good.
Tone.
Good. Cool. We'll wrap it up there. Look,
Yeah,
guys, leave your comments in the box. Have the discussion. Do you agree with us? What are your thoughts on the preview? Do you think we're going to struggle? Do you think it's going to be comfortable? Yeah, let us know. What's your prediction? Once again, thank you very much for all the subscribers. It's been absolutely unreal. Me and Wayne have been blown away by the support.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
But yeah, look, we'll keep going. There's more content coming from us. Match reaction tomorrow evening, straight after the game. Tune in for that. We'll probably go live.
We'll go live, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go live. Put your comments in, hoping for another 3 points before we go into the international break. With Liverpool and City playing on the weekend, that'll work in our favour. Please smash a like on this video, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers. Thank you, guys. All the best.